Supreme dealer today.
Now, the only locally produced farm radio show with agricultural news, information, interviews, in-depth weather, and more. It's Terry Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly cloudy and wet good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, as the rain continues to fall, but it is tapering off rather rapidly now. Picked up a little bit over the past few hours. For most of you, it appears as though it started about 1, 2 o'clock this morning, quite light in nature. And as we moved into the early morning hours, sunrise, we began to see the rain pick up in intensity. And some locations picking up a good 4 or 5 tenths, a few locations more than that, and several less than that. We'll take a look at those readings in just a moment. We had clouds, we had sun, we had fog, rainy conditions early this morning. Over the last 24 hours, that's pretty much what we were looking at. Mild temperatures, but then the further north you get, a whole lot more wintry-like. And right now, freezing rain and snow in the northern third of the lower peninsula. If you were to draw a line, let's say from Beulah, which is off on the west side of the state, to Harrisville, which is on the east side of the state, that line, everything north of that line, you're looking at least 6 inches of snow, if not more. And in a few instances, especially over in Grand Traverse area, and then over by Alpena, they have some unofficial readings of more than 10 inches of snow on the ground as of right now. Winter storm warning still in effect in the upper peninsula. A good 2/3 of the eastern part of the upper peninsula is under that winter storm warning. Things will be tapering off, but it's going to take a little bit before all of that happens. What we're seeing right now is the rain shower activity is ending pretty much to the west of I-75 here in the Great Lakes Bay area. But again, the further north you get, the more overall freezing precipitation and then just plain old snow in that part of the state. Matthew, right now, what do we have out at the airport?
Well, over at the airport, we have some light rain at 39 degrees. Over in Midland, we have some mixed precipitation at 37. Here at Radio Center, it's rainy at 39 degrees. We have east winds at 8 miles per hour, and our pressure is at 29.57, and it's rising.
You take a look at the roster of cities all up and down the state, and you get a real smorgasbord. You've got clouds, you've got fog down in the Ann Arbor area. You got light snow over in Bad Axe. Light rain down in the Detroit area, mostly cloudy in and around Flint. Light rain across Lansing along that 69 corridor, but you get into the southwest corner and the west side of the state, the sun's out. As a result, we're looking at Benton Harbor right now with sunny skies. It is 58. Battle Creek is at 52. Coldwater, there's clouds, but still 54 degrees. Holland is looking at mostly sunny skies, 56. Kalamazoo is 55, looking at 59 in South Haven. So obviously they are going to peak out above the 60-degree mark by the time we're all said and done today. Light snow, drizzle, heavy snow. Gaylord right now is looking at heavy snow, and it is 28 degrees. So if you are traveling in that direction, be advised you are going to run into some snow, and this is the heavy wet stuff. So even the main arteries might be a little touch and go. I know that the road crews have really been out hot and heavy. Now you get up into the upper peninsula where temperatures are ranging in the mid 20s to, Menominee has 35, but they're the warm spot. Everybody else is looking at snow and mixed precipitation up there. How much rain have we received? Well, a couple of unofficial readings in the Bay City area of 6 7/10 of an inch of rain so far. The immediate Richville area, the back 40 in Richville, I've got just under a half inch to report. Fairgrove is looking at 1/4 of an inch. Munger, 4/10. The Pigeon area up in the thumb, about 1/4 of an inch. Sandusky looking at close to 4/10. Freeland is looking at a little bit better than 4/10 of an inch so far today. Linwood looking at a third of an inch. Ithaca, you have 4/10 in the gauge. Mount Pleasant is reporting 6/10 of an inch. And then down at the horticultural station at Michigan State, they're reporting just under a quarter of an inch. Now, a year ago at this time, we had a winter storm moving from Louisiana over to western Virginia. They had snow like you wouldn't believe, and they had ice mixed in with all of it. Again, that was a year ago. And the wind chills a year ago down in Texas were below zero. What a difference a year makes, because right now they are looking at very seasonal temperatures in that part of the country, and they're not talking any kind of major storms of any kind as of right now. Now, a year ago today here, our high was 17 and our low was 5 below zero. Last night, Flint reported a record high of 54, and we only made it up to 37 here in the Great Lakes Bay area. Normal, what's average, is 32 in the afternoon and 18 at night. Our record high, and we won't hit it, 62. That was set back in 2017. Now the record low, and thank goodness we won't hit that, 12 below zero. That was set in 1920, tied in 1936, and then tied in 1979. 1979 was a very cold winter, especially late winter here in the Great Lakes Bay area. As a matter of fact, the coldest ever 18th of February was in 1979. 8 was our high, 12 below zero was our low. So, and oh yeah, snowiest ever, 18th of February. You got to go back 100 years, 1926. We had 8 inches of snow on this date back then. So what are we looking at? Low pressure system right now, southern Wisconsin, moving into southern, well, I shouldn't say southern, kind of like right around the northwest corner of the lower peninsula, and that low is going to be scooting through here over the next several hours. So that's why we've got the clearing going on right now. How warm are we going to get? Well, as Matthew said, we're hovering close to the 40-degree mark. We should make it up to about 44 by the time it's all done. We're going to need the sun to get it any warmer than that. And we have had some folks tell us that we should, with the help of sun, and that sun, it's got to move in by 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon. If it does, we'll hit 50 degrees here. Because as you can tell, where there is sun right now, temperatures are well in the 50s, if not pressing 60. We're looking for low tonight with cloudy skies, maybe some breaks in the clouds, 34. Sun will set this evening at 6:11, rise tomorrow morning at 7:29. And during the day tomorrow, clouds, some sun, 47 for a high, 38 for a low. We'll have a southeast breeze becoming easterly tomorrow night. We're going to watch a low-pressure system, which is originating in Colorado. That's going to be moving into southern Iowa later on tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. That is going to be our next weather maker. On Friday, we'll peak out at about 42. We'll have clouds, and we'll get some mixed precipitation. That Iowa low will move up into and around the Traverse City area during the day on Friday. So there will be snow in the upper peninsula as well as Wisconsin, and a pretty good chance of seeing some rain, morning rain here once again on Friday morning, along with a southwest wind gusting to 30 miles per hour. Now, Friday night, mostly cloudy, 32 for a low. Then Saturday, clouds, 38 for a high. Snow showers on Saturday night, 28 for a low. Again, we're talking the Great Lakes Bay area. Areas to the north will pick up more measurable amount of snow. On Sunday, it'll be snow once again. Our high temperature on Sunday will be 33, 34, a low on Sunday night of 20. And then Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, we'll be running below normal with partly cloudy skies and then some clouds moving in. Very little, if any, chance of precipitation to kick off the work week next week. Long range outlook. Now we're talking through the 3rd of March, Temperatures on average will be at or slightly above normal. Precipitation pattern is also going to get a little more aggressive as well during that period of time. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by today, Matthew, who do we have?
Well, we don't have anybody from Star of the West yet, but coming up next, we have Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
Alrighty, market report brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth. Those Farmall tractors, they've got them. They got a good selection right now, and they're ready to go to work for you wherever you need to have that work done. And what kind of work do you have? What are you going to need it for? Well, the folks at Weiss Equipment will pair you up with the right sized Farmall tractor to fit the need that you have. So you're not going to pay a penny more than what you really need with that Farmall tractor. That Farmall, though, will do just about anything, ranging from 35 to 140 horsepower. So don't slight it. It'll do a lot of work. Anything from the value packed compact Farmall A up to the deluxe compact Farmall C and C series with cabs. It's very simple. The tractor does it all. So no matter what you're doing, Can Do comes in red, and it's called Farmall. See them today at Weiss Equipment in Frankenmuth, doing it right longer. Let's check in first with Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer and get the latest of what's going on there. Doug, how are we doing on the markets? I noticed the wheat was recovering a little bit.
Yeah, everybody's recovering a little bit. A lot of green, I guess. The Fed minutes are coming out, I think, today, and so they're anticipating something good there. A little bit of anxiety over in Iran. So price of oil is up about 3.5%. That kind of drags everything commodity-based up a little bit. Gold, silver, all the metals are up. Pretty good. Silver's up 6%, so that's a good move. What else? Stock market's up. The S&P's up about 0.8%. NASDAQ about 1.3%. So a little recovery in some of the tech. A little better than the industrial side of it right now. But everybody's okay. I read that Bayer is thinking about settling their Roundup lawsuit. They talked about $7.25 billion to do that. That was not great for the stock. They dropped the stock down about 8%. I don't know if that's a big number anymore or not. They throw billions around like it's candy, so I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. So anyway, here's your numbers. The March corn is 4.26 3/4, up 0.5 penny. September corn is 4.45 also up 0.5 penny. The March soybeans 11.36 up 2.5. September soybeans 11.22 up 2 1/4. The March wheat 5.44 up 6 1/4, and September wheat 5.70 up 6 3/4. The sugar's trading at 13.75 up 27 cents. The crude oil is 64.46 up $2.20. Heating oil 247.18 up 8 cents. Gasoline is 196.09 up 4.7 cents. Natural gas is 292.5. That's down 3.5 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar buys $1.3668 Canadian. That's up 33 ticks. The dollar buys 154.42 yen. That's up 114 ticks. The euro's at 118.12, down 41 ticks, and they're talking about cutting interest rates over in that area, and so that's probably what's given pressure to the euro. And then the dollar's at 97.45. That's up 30 ticks. Gold is at $5,000.10. up $111.10. Silver's at $78.09, up $4.55. Platinum's $2,104.50, that's up $92. And copper's at $579.50, that's up 15.25 cents.
Oh, another jump there.
Yeah, who knows?
Good Lord.
Who knows?
Hold on. The roller coaster is working its magic.
Never know.
You take care. Thanks a lot, Doug.
All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Market report brought to you today by the folks at Thumb Bank. You know, they've been working with agriculture since 1895. And as Matt Ross said yesterday, there's a lot of things to talk about as far as farming operations go moving into 2026. It can be handled, and those that are in the know that good, solid conversation with your banker is really important as of right now, and Thumb Bank is there to help. They know about the challenges, and they know how you need to keep up with those changes as far as your operation goes to make it compatible with everything going on. Thumb Bank, 13 locations throughout the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay Area. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Market report also brought to you by Kryjak's House Family Restaurant. Punchki Day was yesterday. Ash Wednesday is today, and coming up on Friday, that's when we kick things off once again with the Lenten season and the fish fries. Kryjak's House, a great place to dine in. And, of course, if you need to supply the food for an event, they're a great group to handle all of that catering need. 989-894-5531, corner of Cass in Michigan on the south side of Bay City. That's Kryjak's House. We say good morning to Travis Christian over at Nutrient Ag. Travis, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. How are you today?
Hey, not too bad. You know, we got, some people will argue, but I think we got some much needed rain out here this morning.
We did, and it's a little sad to see all the snow go away that I've worked so hard to pile up off my driveway. But it's also nice to have precipitation to start building up those soil banks for spring.
Mother Nature's got her way of spraying off winter, and at least this is a good start, but I got a funny feeling we got a lot more winter to go. It kind of brings up a question, and I'm kind of curious about this. Wheat, for the most part, is dormant. Any concerns at all, Travis, you think?
I don't think so. We've seen scenarios like this in the past, and we've been able to manage that. I think when we see that coming out of dormancy, it's really important that it be fed, and that we start to think about what happens if we do get another blanket of snow. Is that going to cause snow mold? Can we do stuff to help manage that? But by and large, I'd say work really closely with your crop consultant. Check on things, stay on top of things. And I know economics on wheat aren't the greatest right now, but it's really important to maximize what we're going to get out of that. And with wheat, with every crop, the team at Nutrient Ag Solutions is ready to build an entire system around your farm's success, rather than focus on the individual needs as they come up, to be prepared with a whole system to help make sure that we are fully covering every need that you have this year. So I think that's a really great question to spur conversation today, Terry.
And one other thing, of course, a lot of meetings, a lot of farmers have been involved in talking about the elements, what it's going to take to get a good crop this spring. What are you advising our growers right now in ways of making it cost efficient?
So I think the easiest, most low-hanging fruit that maybe is a bit of a trap sometimes is to look right at input costs. And I have to go right down to the bottom, because if we're being honest, it's easy to control what flows from the checkbook. But to me, the most valuable thing we can do is sit down and actually build out a full crop plan prior to making those decisions, so that we can see the big picture. And obviously, our growers are experts. about their farms and what they do. And we try to bring as much additional value, as much innovation, and as much opportunity and outside the box thinking into that as possible. And so, getting that crop plan on paper, sitting down with your crop consultant and actually looking at the whole big picture and building out a plan that makes sense economically, that really focuses on ROI and what income the farm will make, much more so than what leaves the checkbook, is going to be critical this year. And, we've had years like this before. These are the years that separate the men from the boys on the farm, where we're willing to sit down and plan and set aside the frustration and say, I have work to do. This is what makes farms successful, and we are prepared to come alongside of our growers in that endeavor.
And again, I think a lot of our producers have history in mind when it comes to what they should do, because just as you said, this has happened before. Now, maybe not necessarily with some of the decision makers today, but some of the decision makers that were back several years. And it's really important for a lot of our producers to be working together themselves to understand what happened in the past.
Absolutely. And like I said, we have such a wealth of knowledge in our leadership and at our branches. We have such a variety of solutions, from inputs all the way up to nutrient financial. So, like I say, Terry, we're prepared to come alongside of our growers to plan for success this year.
Travis, thank you so much for sharing. We really appreciate it. We'll talk to you again soon, okay?
Thank you very much.
You bet. Travis Christian over at Nutrien Ag. Matthew, let's slide over and talk to a person. We had the opportunity to talk to her back a couple of weeks ago or so, when the nurserymen were having their annual event over west side of the state, and Jerry Samolsky introduced us to Amy Upton, who's the executive director of the Michigan Nursery and Landscape Association. Amy's joining us right now. Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Hello, Terry. How are you?
Hey, we're doing fantastic. With this warmer weather, the first thing I thought of was, I'm going to stop by one of my friends that owns a nursery, the greenhouse and all that stuff, and see what they're up to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're putting seeds in the pots right now, getting things ready to go. It's going to be a while, but a lot of folks get the itch when the weather turns 45 and 50 degrees, especially after the weather we've had.
Exactly. And we are getting ready for you. So as you said, our greenhouses and our nurseries are getting things planted up, seeded and potted up, and getting ready to ship to our retail garden centers, so that when the weather does finally turn, and we still have some coming, Terry, I'm sorry to say, but we do have some coming. When it finally does turn, we'll be ready for you to have you in. So if you don't mind, Terry, I'm so happy to be with you today to talk about Michigan's green industry. We are facing a challenge this spring. Now, the challenge is with the impending action to add 6 species of plants to Michigan's prohibited and restricted lists.
Really?
So, yes. And the concept is good, Terry. Our industry, we are all about the environment. If we do not have a healthy environment, our industry does not survive. We do not flourish. So the concept is good. We want to help, and we support it to protect our environment from the threat of invasive plants. We support these efforts. Our challenge with the current proposal is that it not only bans, they're looking at banning 6 species of plants, but it's not only banning those 6 plants, but all of their cultivars, which equates to over 200 plants. So if I can quickly explain cultivars and species, because it was confusing, it's confusing to some. So what's being
why don't we cover maybe one or so, or why don't we touch base tomorrow and
Okay,
talk a little
perfect.
bit more about that,
Perfect.
because I think you've peaked a little interest right now. So we want to spend
Well,
more time.
okay.
We want to spend more time
Okay.
talking about this. So tell you what,
Perfect.
we'll give you a call tomorrow, and then
Okay.
we'll chat a little bit more about some of this. Okay.
All right. Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Well, Amy,
All right.
thank you very much for bringing it up, and we'll look
Yeah.
forward to our conversation tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. All right. Take
Great.
care. Enjoy the weather.
Oh, I will. Take care.
Okay.
Amy
All right.
Upton, who's executive director of the Michigan Nursery and Landscape Association. We'll have more with her tomorrow. We'll be right back.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning out the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Friday, bonus pricing has been extended at Rifkin Steel.
Implements are known to drift off the guidance line, even when you use auto steer. Keep your implements centered on the guidance line with Right Path, Ag Leader's passive implement steering solution. Right Path operates seamlessly through Ag Leader's in-command Go displays to increase your operations efficiency throughout the growing season, while minimizing crop damage, yield loss, and operator challenges. Contact PC Ag Solutions, your local ag dealer, today at 989-868-4444. Farm Service has been brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain, your Dairyland Seed headquarters. Great selection of products from Sure Crop and Nature's that will increase your yields, Mr. Farmer, this year. So check them out. Remember, serving you is their business. And they've been doing it since 1983, Freeland Bean and Grain. Market Report also brought to you today by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. They're here to help with lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. Make them your hometown financial solution. Check them out, frankenmuthcu.org. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update, so you stick around for that. Now we conclude with the playing of our national anthem, brought to you by Lucas Avenue Coin in Bay City.
Broadcasting from the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton,